In Liverpool, there was a place that was called the Sailor's Home, and it was where the sailors would get off their ships and they would stay there. So think like a dormitory of the Sailor's Home. I'll show you a picture of it from way back when in Liverpool. That's a picture of the Sailor's Home in Liverpool, England. Well, it ended up with a fire raged out, and people began to cry out, "Fire, fire, fire!" And that's a painting of the fire taking place. Well, as would happen in those old days, they didn't have ladders high enough to get to the top windows. They didn't have the good stuff that we need with fire departments and all that stuff in the same way of fire safety codes. So they couldn't get the folks out that were higher. So they finally got this big ladder and they put it up to the side of the building, and they went up the side of the building and it wouldn't reach the people on the top floor. So one of the sailors climbed up the ladder and got up to the very top, and he stood on the very top of the ladder. And when he got up there, he stood on that last rung, and he put his feet on the last rung and his hands on the windowsill of that upper room window. And he looked up at the guys and he said, "Use me as the ladder and crawl down over my body." And the sailors began coming out of the window, and they would crawl down the body of this man. Can you imagine a grown man going down your back as you are stories up on a ladder, standing on the last top rung? And they're crawling over him. As they safely get down, then he crawls down the ladder. His hands and fingers are blistered. His hair is singed. His face is burned. But he saved the lives of those men because the ladder wasn't big enough. They needed to crawl over a man. Let me tell you, your good works, your ladder's not long enough. You need to crawl over a man, and his name is Jesus. And his hands are not burned, but they're pierced. His face is not burned, but there's a crown of thorns around his head. There's nail scars. There's a stab in his side. His blood has flowed. And what he has done for eternity is grabbed on and said, if you want to go to heaven, you're going to have to crawl over me, coming from the bottom to the top. You're going to have to come over me, for there is one mediator between God and man, and it's the man, Jesus Christ. And I'm telling you, in the midst of the church age, what's coming in the tribulation? And you need to come to Jesus today. Today. And if you choose not to, that's fine. You can come in the tribulation, but it's going to cost you your life. And your heart may be hardened already too far, like some of these ones we already read. God's strange work is his wrath, but his normal work is his mercies. Hey, thanks for watching. To find out more about Houston's First, you can subscribe to our channel, or you can go to houstonsfirst.org.